Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and it's time for my comic reviews of the week. So let's talk about comics that came out the week of June 20th, 2012. This has been a very light week for me because I only bought 4 comics and they're all Marvels. So, first off, let's kick it off with something that's a series that I used to get, but I stopped getting because, well, it didn't really interest me. Avenging Spider-Man number 8. This is basically serve as an epilogue of Ends of the Earth. Basically what happens is Spider-Man and the Avengers are digging through the wreckage of Dr. Octopus's base, and they're looking for stuff. Basically Spider-Man's trying to find Silver Sable's body, but he can't. And so this eventually causes him to reminisce about one of his early adventures with Silver Sable that helped him realize that she's not just a hired mercenary. She was also a good person, and it kind of helped him eventually form a friendship with her. But basically, after the flashback, Spider-Man helps escort Dr. Octopus to the Raft prison, and when he gets there, he confronts Doc Ock, saying that with his satellites gone, Dr. Octopus is going to die, leaving nothing behind. And also in the end scene, as Black Widow and S.H.I.E.L.D. are searching through the wreckage, there's one Octobot left and it's still moving. So I don't know what that means, but, I have to say, this epilogue for Ends of the Earth isn't really necessary if you've read the entire story. Okay, if you've read the entire main Ends of the Earth story, then I'd say this is optional. If you are a fan of Silver Sable, then yeah, I'd get it. But there's really no point other than being a fan of Silver Sable, because she's technically dead. I'm pretty sure technically we can consider her dead for the time being, so she's not going to make any appearances. So this might have to hold you for a while. And the reason I dropped Avenging Spider-Man is that it just seemed unnecessary. It's just basically Spider-Man teaming up with other heroes, and the only interest I would show in getting Avenging Spider-Man would be if there's a hero that I absolutely adore teaming up with Spider-Man. Unfortunately for Marvel, though, my favorite hero is Spider-Man, and I'm already getting Amazing Spider-Man. Anyways, back to the comic reviews. Next up, Secret Avengers number 28. Vision is able to break the mind control over all the Kree. Once that happens, they all realize the Phoenix is coming, and then they stop from going, "Oh, great, our race is about to evolve to, we're all gonna die!" Anyways, after they realize this, some of the Kree Armada go off to try to hold off the Phoenix Force. Then Thor, then Ms. Marvel tries to re-energize herself back into her binary persona. And after those fail, Captain Britain tries his very best to hold off the Phoenix. I mean, he's very close. But then Captain Marvel realizes that the reason the Phoenix is heading towards Kree is because it wants the energy that was used to restore Captain Marvel back to life, back to it. So Captain Marvel, in a moment of self-sacrifice, goes off, heads to the Phoenix Force. It devours him, and the Kree world is saved. And after the adventure, Miss Marvel is making a recording about what happened during the mission, and she states that the name Captain Marvel has to live on. And so that's pretty much your lead into the new Captain Marvel series that's going to come out soon. Yeah, this whole arc technically felt more of a Captain Marvel story than an Avengers vs. X-Men story. I mean, it started off like that with the team of Avengers facing the Phoenix in space, but after that, it just turned into a Captain Marvel story and also a Miss Marvel story to sort of explain why she's taking the new name and the new costume in her new series soon. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you're a fan of Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, I would say pick this up. But, if you're just going to read this for Avengers vs. X-Men, I would say skip it because it does not tie into the main miniseries at all. It just basically kind of it's kind of it's slightly connected to it. Just it's not necessary, but it's just more like it's just trying to cash in on the Avengers vs. X-Men event. That's pretty much it. Okay, moving along. This is a tie-in that actually does tie into the main event. Avengers Academy number 32. Emma Frost, who's recently been re-empowered, one of the 5 mutants empowered by the Phoenix Force, is destroying Sentinels all around the world, and now her mission has led her to Avengers Academy, where student Justin, who has a Sentinel, has his own little toy Sentinel that he, well, I wouldn't say little, it's a Sentinel that he reprogrammed. However, he can't get rid of its main objective to destroy all mutants. He can just pretty much lower it on a list of objectives and try to bury it, but it's still there, and he can't get rid of it. Then, when Emma Frost arrives, she pretty much issues an ultimatum to Dr. Pym, saying she can either destroy the Sentinel or they can reprogram it completely. And of course, Justin is against it because he thinks that if they reprogram the Sentinel completely, then it would be like erasing the individuality the Sentinel developed since its time with him. So, of course, Giant Man, X-23, and all the other students agree that, Justin's right, and the issue ends with them getting ready to start a fight with Emma Frost. Okay, as much as I would love to see Emma Frost getting the crap beaten out of her, that's going to be hard considering she has the Phoenix power. Also, X-23 does have her moments in this issue as she's sort of seeing the relationship between Justin and his Sentinel with this puppy she had when she was being trained after she was created, where they gave her a dog and she bonded with the dog, but then they forced her to either kill the dog or they would do it for her, and also they would make the dog suffer a slow, painful death. So she decided to just kill the dog quickly and painlessly and end it fast. And she's kind of seen it in the same situation, and she doesn't want Justin to go through that, so she helps him to defend his friend, or pet, Sentinel, really. So, yeah, Avengers Academy, it's been pretty great, as far as a tie-in with the Avengers vs. X-Men. I mean, it's really been sort of getting along. It has been sort of leading into I wouldn't say leading into anything, but it has sort of been taking it, sort of tying in, not sort of trying to cash in on the event as well, but it's doing a better job than what happened in Secret Avengers. Because this one, and a lot of the stories here do focus a lot on X-23 though, but she's more or less like a B character than a big spotlight in this story. So again, Avengers Academy, pretty good read. This is a great crossover for Avengers vs. X-Men. I mean, if you're getting the main series, then I would recommend this. And there are X-23 moments in this, so X-23 fans, you'll enjoy it too. Alright, next up, the final comic. And from the last two, you should have guessed which one it is. Avengers vs. X-Men, Round 6. The Phoenix Five have pretty much started reforming the world. They've pretty much distributed free food and water throughout the world, and they've also went to the United Nations and basically outlawed war. Because of their actions, the White House calls in the Avengers and tells them that even despite all the groups in the Phoenix Five's intention, they need to be stopped because their power is growing and it's unchecked. So the Avengers make a plan to try to extract Hope from Utopia because they believe she's the key to all this. And when they try to get Hope out of Utopia, Cyclops and Emma Frost are alerted, and they almost destroy the Avengers until the Scarlet Witch shows up, and Hope decides to leave with the Avengers and the Scarlet Witch, and Scarlet Witch gets them all out of there. But after they leave, Cyclops pretty much declares that he will no longer tolerate the Avengers. Okay. Well, oh yeah, and also at the start of the issue, there was a conversation between Professor Xavier and Cyclops. He finally enters the fray, and he tries to talk to Scott about his actions and stuff, but Cyclops says he's just trying to bring out the dream that Charles Xavier thought of, but it's not the way Charles wanted. No, he wanted humans to realize it and welcome mutants by their own free will, not be forced upon it with, well, power. It's pretty much what the Phoenix Five are. It's pretty much listen to them or get destroyed. That's the feeling. Even though they're not outright destroying people, it's still very intimidating. Okay, I gotta say, Cyclops is really, well, ever since Utopia, he's been sort of the voice of the mutant race. Then came the Schism, and he became really hardcore drill sergeant. Now he's almost going into Villainsburg. I mean, I think he's starting to become Dark Phoenix in this. So in a way, Scott is kind of walking a mile in Jean Grey's shoes. But I think the Phoenix kind of amplifies your negative personalities as well as your good intentions. And I think after Avengers vs. X-Men, once the Phoenix is gone, Cyclops is going to quit the X-Men. That's my theory. He's going to quit the X-Men, leave Utopia, like go on a journey or go on a road trip or some kind of journey of self-discovery, because he is not going to be happy with what he's done. Right now, I think he's being blinded by power with the Phoenix, but after this, he's gonna be filled with a lot of regret and remorse. That's the way I feel it. Not that I'm defending Cyclops' actions. He has been a little a lot out of character, but I think the Phoenix is finally gonna push him over the edge, and this is gonna make him realize what he's doing is wrong, and he'll quit Utopia and the X-Men for some time to be alone. Okay, well, that's the end of my comic review for this week. About my new, just a little note for another series of mine, GN Monthly. That's going to be delayed for a while because I'm expecting some books to come in, and it might take a while because, well, I actually have to order them and they haven't been released yet. And so far, how I've been busy. I mean, I've barely had enough time to read my weekly comics. I've only found the time to read one trade paperback, so I might, skip GN Monthly this month, or just bleed it into next month, like do it the first week of June. If I get my books by the end of June or like the start of July, I'll probably just make a GN Monthly the first week of July and just call that the month of June. Okay, well, that's it for what I have to say. Time for the quick recap. Avengers vs. X-Men number 6. Phoenix 5 are starting to change the world. However, the Avengers don't like it because their power is growing. Hopefully they can be stopped. And Avengers Academy number 32, Miss Emma Frost arrives, tries to get rid of the Sentinel, but it just rallies the Academy together to attack her. Secret Avengers number 28. This tie into Avengers vs. X-Men quickly turned into a Captain Marvel story. If you're a fan of this pretty much just leads into the whole Captain Marvel new series that's going to start soon. So if you're curious about how that's going to be set up, this and the last 2 issues are what you need to check out. And finally, Avenging Spider-Man number 8. An optional epilogue for Ends of the Earth. Get it if you're a fan of Silver Sable. Other than that, you don't really need it. And that's my comic review for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.